So moving now into the book of 2 Samuel and the latter part of David's story. Actually, no, I lied. We're going to back up for 1 minute just to talk about the different accounts of David's emergence, right? The three different stories, if you will, of David's discovery. Because in the first, Samuel, again, secretly sort of anoints him king of Judah. So it's a private affair. And he anoints him as the king of Judah, which is just the southern region. And he does this in Saul's lifetime. David is the youngest of his father's son, so this anointment is another reversal of primogeniture, the exaltation of the lowly that we see so often in the Bible. In the second account, we first meet David when he is summoned to play music for a disturbed Saul, who of course is suffering from these irrational fits. And then in the third account, David is introduced as the 98-pound weakling who takes on the legendary Goliath. Later, after the death of Saul, David will be anointed king in Hebron over his own tribe, Judah. He then manages to either win over or kill off the rest of Saul's household, anyone else who could make a dynastic claim to the throne based on descent from Saul, anyone who might be a threat to his claim to kingship in the more northern region. And eventually the northern tribes will also elect him king. And so the united kingship of the northern parts of Israel and the tribe of Judah is finally formed. Once his reign seems secure and the nation is consolidated behind him, David then captures Jerusalem and launches attacks against Israel's neighbors. And the text says that the Lord gives him victory. This is in 2 Samuel 8 now, and verses 6 and 14. God gives him victory. The biblical narrative depicts him as the master of a huge empire that stretches from the desert to the sea. There's very little evidence that Israel actually established lasting control over all of the states in this region. It's likely that David was able to take advantage of a power vacuum. Egypt's hold on Canaan was crumbling. The migration of these peoples of the seas throughout this region and other peoples pressing in from the desert had really upset the two major powers, right, in Mesopotamia and in Egypt, and they really had lost control of the central region. And so David and the Israelites were able to take advantage of this and establish an independent state. And David's independent state was probably able to dominate the area for a little while, ending the Philistine threat, for example, and possibly even collecting tribute from some of the surrounding or neighboring states, Ammon and Moab and Edom. But it's the prophet Nathan who transmits God's promise to David, a promise that will become the basis for the faith in the eternity of the Davidic kingdom. And that happens in 2 Samuel chapter 7, verses 8 to 17. Very important passage and very important in the construction of what we'll see is a royal ideology. A royal ideology that comes to contest some of the basic ideology of the nation.